Hi, welcome to Miss Richardson's U.S. History 5-Minute Lectures. This information will be U.S. Notes 3.3, War Breaks Out in Europe. It includes information aligned with the first section on your study guide. Remember, you have control of this lecture, so pause whenever you need to, write down all the information that you need, use your study guide to help you take those notes, write down any questions you have and bring those to class, and rewatch as often as you need, especially before tests. Always make sure you're using your study guide. Got it? Let's go ahead and get started. So to review quickly, Hitler controlled Germany, Mussolini controlled Italy, and they both supported Franco in his attempt to take over and control Spain. Got it? At the same time, Stalin had control of the Soviet Union. So people at this time wanted strong leadership and help, and these leaders promised them what they wanted in exchange for their loyalty. We really also had a very strong leader in the U.S., Franklin Roosevelt, and we were getting the same things from him that people in other countries were getting from these dictators. So Hitler used the political climate of the time to put his plan to unite all Germanic people in Europe into place. He had outlined this plan in his book, Mein Kampf. His beliefs that Germans, particularly blonde-haired, blue-eyed Germans, were superior to others, and that Slavic, Eastern Europeans, and Jews were inferior to all others. These beliefs were actually a part of this plan. He believed that the Jewish people were responsible for many of the world's problems, including the Depression, and he wanted to punish them. So in 1937, Hitler begins to enact his plan. He wants to annex or add territory to his country. After remilitarizing the Rhineland, he used force to take control of Austria and unified them with Germany. When the rest of Europe ignored this action, Hitler then decided to annex the area of Czechoslovakia called the Sudetenland. They resisted and had Britain, France, and the Soviet Union as allies to stop Germany, so Czechoslovakia felt relatively safe. Representatives of France, Germany, and Great Britain and Italy met in Munich, Germany to decide the fate of Czechoslovakia in 1938. France and Britain decided to allow Hitler to annex the Sudetenland in order to appease him and to avoid war. Appeasement is giving in to an aggressor's demands in order to maintain peace. This agreement is known as the Munich Pact. Neville Chamberlain, the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the time, claimed that they had reached a peace with honor. Boy, was he wrong. A month later, Hitler began to demand parts of Poland be added to Germany. Britain and France realized they had failed to appease Hitler, and he was not going to stop. Germany did not want a two-front war, so that Hitler signed a non-aggression pact with Stalin and the Soviet Union. This pact was called the Nazi-Soviet Pact. And then, in 1939, Hitler invaded Poland. Britain and France declared war on Germany. Soviet Union is going to stay out of this war. Germany then used fast, large-scale invasion tactics called Blitzkrieg to quickly defeat Poland. Hitler then turned his attention and his armies to defeating France. He went through France's defensible Maginot Line, through Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. The Germans defeated all three of those countries quickly, and by 1940, Hitler had also defeated France and installed his own government in place there. This increase in military actions so quickly is called escalation. Hitler escalated the war very, very quickly in order to win. Britain refused to back down, even though France had fallen, and under the leadership of a new prime minister, Winston Churchill, continued to resist Germany while the U.S. officially declared themselves neutral, even though we did sell military goods to Britain as long as they had the money to pay under our cash and carry system. So this is the end of U.S. Notes 3.3. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, I'll see you in class tomorrow with those.